Let's talk about gossip circles and the energy that's really happening behind them. My name is Aaliyah Dawn. I am a fourth generation medium, channel, and spiritual development coach. What I'm not talking about is I'm not talking about being part of an organization that is trying to create change in the world. I'm not talking about being a whistleblower or calling out abuse or harm against other people. What I'm not talking about is sharing with somebody you love, sharing an experience with somebody you love, or somebody that can guide you where you're looking to relieve pressure from a situation or to gain guidance and clarity in your steps forward. Those carry different energies. What I'm talking about is being involved in a circle where other people's names are being dragged down, talked about, and diminished. About the law of reciprocity, I give what I give out, I receive in kind. What I focus on, I attract. Okay. And so when I am involved in a circle of people who are targeting a certain person, talking negative about that person, bringing that person's name down, dragging that person through the mud for whatever reasons that may be there. If I'm involved in a circle where there's like a lot of negative talk around that person, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually part of that energy that is sending negative energy out. This is what we actually call a psychic attack. This is literally energy being accumulated, being stacked up. And like when energy is given to something so massively and so big, it actually is sent out. So if you've ever been the receiver of a psychic attack, you know that those moments where you just feel like something is happening, you feel like something's being directed at you, you feel like you're being talked about. Can psychic attacks actually hurt the person that you're talking about? Can it affect them even more? And the answer to that is yes. But what you need to be really, really aware of is that when you're sending any kind of negative energy out into the world, that's the field of attraction that you're calling back into yourself. And so if I'm sending negative energy out to somebody, I'm receiving the same in kind. And you might be like, well, I was there for the conversation, but I didn't take part in it. I was just there. I was present. I was listening to it. So, I'm not actually sending negative energy out. You are. If you're a part of that circle, if you're part of that energy field where negative energy is being directed and you're participating in the listening and receiving of it, you're also absorbing it for yourself and you're sending it out and absorbing it back for yourself. Okay. So we want to talk about that moment that we find ourselves in a gossip circle and we're uncomfortable and we don't want to be there. And by the way, this also goes for social media threads as well. They're just as guilty, if you will, in participating in creating a psychic attack for somebody. If you're participating in a thread that's dragging somebody down through the mud or talking about them in a vicious way or a diminishing type of way, it's the same thing as being on the phone with somebody or being in a DM circle with somebody. Okay, so that is not separated. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to and what you're participating in. Notice the feeling in your body when you start to witness you will witness the feeling. There will be a drop in your energy almost instantly. If you're there, the divine is trying to get your attention. You need to pull yourself out of this circle now. This is the very moment where we have to become cognizant of why we're there, why we're part of this circle. What wound is coming up for you that's keeping you a part of something that drops your own energy field? Why are we present in this circle? Is it out of obligation? Is it out of fear that if we leave this particular circle or if we're not part of this particular conversation that we're going to be left alone? Because the truth is that we need to be looking at, first of all, too, why these gossip circles are created against this person. What is the projection being put out against this person? A lot of times when people feel triggered by somebody, they want to be validated in their trigger and not in the healing of the wound, but validated in their trigger. So what is being projected out? What wounds are being projected out against this person? Is it because they reached a level of success? Is it because they have reached a level of happiness in their life? Is it because there is jealousy about what is happening? Like what's really happening underneath the layer of the gossip that is happening? And if you're participating in this, and you're feeling the drop in your energy, what is keeping you there? Because the truth is that whatever is being projected out into this person, if you were to grow, if you were to succeed, if you were to find happiness in your life, you might find yourself also being the same target. And honestly, is that the kind of friendships that we want to foster in our life? Is that the kind of relationships we want to keep? Is because if we are keeping relationships in our life that are fostering negativity and projecting out wounds and not healing them, but looking for validation, then we're going to keep on receiving the same kind of circles of friendships in our lives. This is a time for you to choose you. This is a time for you to step out and choose your own energy. Can it be scary leaving a circle like this? Yes. Can you be the target of this circle once you leave that circle? Yes. Is it more important for you to take care of yourself and make boundaries and create boundaries of what you're willing to accept in your life and what you're willing to participate in for your own evolvement and growth? Yes. Can it be lonely on the other side of this for a moment? Yes, because it will take some adjusting. It'll take your system and your nervous system, it'll take an adjustment of choosing yourself, choosing your boundaries, choosing your energy. And a lot of times that can create this sort of like where there's no relationships around you that you can hang on to or grab onto, because you're building the relationship with yourself. And this is really, really important, to build a relationship with yourself so that you can bring in the type of relationships that match your frequency, match your energy, match your goals, and match your true sense of friendship, morals, and ethics. And one more thing I want to add: if you are finding yourself in this particular position and you're finding yourself wanting to walk away from the circle, and there's a thought like, maybe I should just try to heal the circle itself, I want to remind you that you're not responsible for healing the circle of energy. You're responsible unto the self first. So this is a really important time for you to actually choose you. Step away. Prepare your energy for the type of relationships that you want to call into your life.